because I saw the first game, the highlights, as well as the second game. They didn't defend so well. Their defense was a bit shambolic in terms of when they played out in the second leg out there in Tunisia.
You might in some kind of quagmire aftermath of their, ouster from the African Super League competition that's in its a very final this weekend. And let's get to the final itself. Wydad Casablanca is in the final. Of recent, they look like the new champions of Africa. You remember they are played in the Champions League as well, and now they are in the final. Can you see them maybe upset the South Africans?
Yeah, this is football. Anything can happen, as they will always say. But Wydad is actually not a pushover. With Sundowns has actually shown that they've grown over the years. They've won the CAF Champions League. They are also in this final. It shows that there's something out there in South Africa that they're doing very well that we in Nigeria were not doing also, if you look at it. And if you also look at it, the North Africans, they've also dominated African football. So if you think it's going to be a pushover, then I think we need to have a rethink about that. I expect a very good and difficult game as well. But at the end of the day, you never can tell. Maybe Sundowns could take this one.
Sundowns look like a team that can take it. And you talked about something that they are doing out there in South Africa that maybe we are not doing maybe at this part of the world. And that reminds me of the 1 billion naira sponsorship deal that has entered into Nigerian Professional Football League. Only this weekend we saw the Nigerian Football Federation in conjunction with the Nigerian Professional Football League board say that they've had a deal signed with the commercial body for 5 years that will run, for 1.1 million billion that will run for 5 years. Do you see this introduction of TV rights into the Nigerian Professional Football League good enough to maybe enhance the visibility of Nigerian football?
Yeah, the TV rights is actually very, very important for every league. If you look at famous leagues which we all watch, like the English Premier League, the German Bundesliga, the Spanish La Liga, and Italian Serie A, every of this league actually depend on TV rights. It is from TV rights that they get money to move the league. It is from TV rights that they pay most of all these clubs. Also looking at the back home here in South Africa, the PSL. The PSL thrives on TV rights because they get good money, good sponsorship from SuperSport out there. So if we want to do well, first and foremost, we are not also looking at just the TV rights. Where this match is going to be played. We also look at the factors, the stadium, the management, and all those things. Those are the things that make a good and profitable league. If all these are not put in place, even if you have the best of the best money, you will still have issues at the end of the day.
Well, talking about TV rights and the return of maybe Nigerian league matches on TV, this is not the first time. I remember way back in the 80s, we used to have matches on the local television station here in Nigeria. And I think that it was called Match of the Week. Matches were taken, one match was shown on TV on Sunday night, and a lot of people followed it up. That seemed to have died out when we had the Nigerian Professional Football League, or let's say Professional Football League, in the 90s, and we saw, some kind of dilly-dallying arrangement. Then, of course, the famous Super Sports came about 6 years ago to put in Nigerian football on TV. That deal did not run through the contract extension period of 5 years. I think it got stopped after 2 years. For me, it looks like the administration of these contracts with the different football bodies had been the reason, because you talked about South Africa. South African Football League had been on TV for some time now, and the Nigerian Professional Football League, when you compare it to South Africa, I think we are ahead, but just that the South African Football League is just on TV. That's for me the missing link. But here in Nigeria, we have these contracts that are not being respected over time, and it's in and out, and it seems to affect the way our football is seen from the rest of the world. Right now, countries like Ghana, South Africa, even Uganda, Tanzania, have had their football on TV, and it's looking like their football is now higher, is ranked higher than Nigerian football.
Well, Nigerian football, well, yes, we have good players, we have good talents, but talents and good players is not what runs the league. What runs the league is the management itself. If we can't sort out our managerial issues in terms of boards and everything, putting the structures, putting the facilities, then still going to have issues. All these other leagues which you mentioned, they have a good structure already put in place. Look at the Kenyan league. Look at the Zimbabwe. These are leagues that we are not even close to what they have already. We have way better than what they have, but because of they have good managerial skills, they have good management, they have good facilities. Because I watched some of all these games, which on those leagues, and you see that they have pitches that can actually also be looked up and say, yes, these pitches can also be standard as we see in Europe. But here in Nigeria, most times our pitches are not even worthy to play on, talk less of showing them on TV for people to watch. These are the things that actually has an adverse effect on people even watching the game in the long run.
Well, that's the view of Uche, saying that it's more of management than we can see here in Nigeria. We need to properly manage our league, and if we do that, I'm very sure the benefit that comes with proper management will be our portion here. We'll just take a break now. When we return from the break, we'll still continue with the in-depth knowledge of Agu Uche, because a lot of people follow the European football. They know of the El Clasico in Spain. There is the Bundesliga Classica this weekend. So we'll hear from him what he thinks about it. And Lionel Messi has won the Ballon d'Or again, and a lot of people believe that it should have been otherwise. But there's still a group who believe that Lionel Messi deserves to win it. I'll find out from Uche what he thinks. Is it right that the 8-time winner deserves it, or it should have been otherwise? And a lot more here on Atlantic Television's Sports Extraordinary. When we return for a break, it will be all yours.
Goal. Goalkeeper's missed it. Play again. Oh! He does a right hand and down goes the ball straight away. Oh, what a point to end it on. So now this is when they're at their best. Yep. And it's when they're 12 years for this. So drink it in. It's a goal, his 8th goal.
extraordinary weekend edition here on Atlantic Television Network. And of course, this weekend we've had the benefit of having the relationship and partnership manager of Van Dyke Sports with us, Agu Uche, and we'll be sharing this knowledge as from point why he's in Port Harcourt and beyond Port Harcourt. We've shared this knowledge as well across the continent of Africa. But let's now go to Europe, Uche. The Premier League is one of the most watched by Africans generally, and back here in south of Nigeria as well. This weekend we've seen Manchester United try to, redeem their image by beating their opponent in the weekend by 1-0. They beat Bournemouth by 1-0. What do you make of Manchester United this season? They've lost about 7 matches in all competitions so far.
I think it's 8 precisely.
8 now, yes.
8. So Man United has been very abysmal in their performance. A lot of expectations coming into the new season. Everybody expected that the team was going to go from that lower trajectory to a higher trajectory with decided of a ball playing goalkeeper Onana galvanize the team. Rather, the team has gone from up, down, and we don't even understand where they're going. There's no Man United doesn't have that playing style that people used to know of before. They'll say Man United plays an attacking kind of football. Now we don't even know. So Man United just plays and people expect them to either lose or they draw or even win. So, but it might be a phase they're going through, but with time, maybe they might actually pick up.
Well, Manchester United fans, I think there's something to jubilate about this weekend, especially because your team has been able to take out Fulham in this weekend's fixture. So 1-0, 3 points, late goal scored by Fernandes Bruno. But we just hope that this will be the beginning of good things to come for Manchester United. After all, Ten Hag believes that the team will gel on its own. This weekend as well, we've seen Manchester City become ruthless in front of goal. They scored 6 Manchester City become ruthless in front of goal. They scored 6 goals past Bournemouth. They scored only 1 at Etihad Stadium.
City is always the fans' favorite right now because the way they're playing, they seem like they might retain the title if Arsenal or the other teams do not step up. City has come to stay. They have a very prolific striker in Haaland. They have a good midfield partnership, and even though they're missing Kevin De Bruyne, they seem to still be playing very well, which is unlike a City team of maybe 2 years or three seasons ago, because Kevin De Bruyne is the heart of the midfield. He's the creator. Haaland is even still scoring goals, even without the passes or the assist from Kevin De Bruyne. So City is actually a very good team to watch out for. Yes, they play the best brand of football in England and even in Europe. That's why they are actually the Champions League holders.
Brentford has just beaten the West Ham by 3-2. Brentford, after the European experience, looks like competing for top place in the Champions League for next season.
Brentford?
Yes.
Brentford is still going to be a London team, as they will put it. This is a London derby for them. Brentford and West Ham is just like neighbors playing each other. So, yes, West Ham United played very well over the midweek when they defeated Arsenal, and everybody was like, yeah, the West Ham has arrived. But you understand, games are going to pile up. The season is still fresh. They have a Europa League to play. This is also going to impact them in the long run because they have a very good team. Yes, they replaced well. They got in players like Prowse. They got in the Mohamed Kudus, I know, from the sale of Declan Rice. Yes, they've replenished. They've gotten a squad, but yes, it's going to have a toll on them. I still expect them to actually still finish in a European competition spot, but yes, it's going to be a tough one for them going into the season.
You talk about Mohamed Kudus. He's scoring goal of late, and it looks like this justifies the amount of money put on him, even though he could not move over to Arsenal during the transfer season. But he has justified his presence in that West Ham team.
Yeah, Mohamed Kudus is actually a talent that people sometimes tend to underestimate. He did very well in his youthful days in Ajax. So him coming to England was actually like a step up for him. And West Ham, yes, it's a very good team for him to play. So the pressure, yes, the pressure came with the price tag and everything when he joined West Ham. But I think he's beginning to settle in, and with time, you'll definitely see the best come out of Mohamed Kudus.
West Ham and Mohamed Kudus are doing well, but on this weekend, we've seen them drop 2 points, courtesy of the win from Brentford, the other London side that's just taking them out this evening. Let's look at the other game. Talking about London side reminds me of Arsenal. They are away to Newcastle, and this is looks like a game where they must at least get a point because of the competition at the top. Remember, they have 3 points, just 2 points gap between them and the leaders of the league. Do you see Arsenal do well in this fixture, at least to keep the pressure on the top place team in the Premiership?
Well, Arsenal is a team that every season they begin to improve, and nobody expects them to do nothing less than winning the title this season or even winning the trophy. Yes, it's going to be a tough game out there in Newcastle. Newcastle is not pushovers; they're doing very well in the Champions League. They are also doing well in the league. So this game could be a one game or one goal difference that wins the game. Arsenal could take it, Newcastle could take it, or it could even end in a draw. So, but I would love Arsenal to win this one. Hopefully they win.
Hopefully Arsenal could win this one, but for now it is goalless as we speak. And let's go to the Spanish La Liga. One fixture for today in the La Liga is the Real Sociedad FC Barcelona fixture. Where do you think this one will go?
This is a very tight game to call, because Real Sociedad, most times whenever they play Barcelona, they give Barcelona a run for their money. They are not a pushover team, and they are also in Europe. So, but Barcelona, yes, right now, I was discussing the other day with someone, and he said Barcelona starting lineup each day and each game seems to see new faces. So Barcelona is dependent on more of youthful players than the players who they usually have in time past. Now you more of see players who you've never heard of playing for Barcelona, but they're actually doing something right. Maybe going back to their La Masia academy, get players who they actually nurture and who could actually play in the first team. So it's going to be a very interesting game, I must say.
Well, FC Napoli in the Italian Serie A seem to be doing well without Victor Osimhen of Nigeria. Just a few minutes ago, they beat Salernitana by 2-0.
Well, FC Napoli has not really shown brightest this season. Even with or without Osimhen, they've had some challenges, even with the coach, even the president looking up and saying that maybe his time is up and all. So, but I feel with time they will come into the league. The league is still fresh, but if you allow them to stay away from others now and maybe keep dropping points, then they might not retain the league this season.
Well, the big one this weekend, if you follow European football, is the Bundesliga Klassiker, and it has to do with Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. It's a very, very big encounter if you follow German football. And as we speak, the team from Bayern is doing well. They are 2 goals up already against Borussia Dortmund, in Dortmund. What is it about Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich?
I call them the Siamese twins, because they have this relationship over the years that Bayern sometimes goes and they do their wish list shopping from Dortmund. So they always take out the best stars out of Dortmund. Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting game. But 2 goals up already
in 12 minutes
or 15 minutes. It could actually become a whitewash if care is not taken.
Well, talking about goals scored by Bayern Munich, who will score for Bayern Munich if it's not Harry Kane? He's already one of the 2 goal scorers. Upamecano, the other goal scorer. Harry Kane, over £100 million, but he seemed to have justified the huge transfer fee on him.
Yeah, Harry Kane is a proven talent, proven striker who everybody in Europe was hustling to get this last summer. Yeah, I was actually surprised that Bayern Munich will actually go and break the bank to get him. Normally, Bayern's transfer policy, in recent time, we've never seen them go for a high-profile player and pay so much fee for that. But definitely, Bayern had a need. They struggled the last few years since Lewandowski left. They needed a proven striker. They needed someone who can actually be that difference maker, because it showed in their Champions League games where they lost some games because they had no out and out striker. So with Harry Kane, they are definitely going to score goals. They are going to win titles, and if possible, they could also be a challenger or a contender for this season's Champions League.
German Bundesliga, they told the El Clasico in Spain, the Clasica in Germany is ongoing, and it is 2-0, 12 minutes, and Harry Kane and Upamecano has scored for Bayern Munich. We just hope that this will have. By talking about these two sides, if you remember what happened at the last day of last season, it's still maybe at the back of the mind of the Bayern Munich players. But again, Borussia Dortmund seemed to just chicken out when they needed most.
I remember that last season or that day, a lot of people who are more like people who look out for these games, people cried on that day and they felt sad because
it was just for Bayern to just for Borussia Dortmund to win, and
yeah,
that would be it.
That was it. I was for me. I remember I was speaking with someone on that fateful day, and he was like, Dortmund is going to win," and I'm like, "What if they don't win?" And when he called me and he was like, "Wow, what you said is actually coming to pass." I said, yes, they look like a team that when it matters most, they will also falter. So, yes, Bayern would definitely keep dominating them.
Bayern dominating Borussia Dortmund as we speak, 2-0 up, and we just hope that they can get maybe some kind of Borussia Dortmund can respect themselves and put in the goals, because they are playing at home after all. But again, they are up against champions of the German Bundesliga. Let's return back to one of our issues for this course, and it had to do with Lionel Messi's winning for the 8th time the Ballon d'Or. A lot of people believe that the victory at the World Cup for Argentina with him as captain helped more for it to be decided in his favor. 100 journalists from 100 countries around the world voted, and it was Lionel Messi again at the World Cup. I've listened to a lot of respected journalists across the world, and some think that it should have been the man from Paris Saint-Germain, Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, Messi. Yeah, congratulations to him. But yeah, a lot of people, even me, I may have one or two doubts. But yeah, he did well. If you look at the season under review, before if there's a FIFA award or there's a Ballon d'Or award and it is in the World Cup year, yes, the first consideration goes to the World Cup before you go to European League or go to your present league which you're playing. If it's by that, yes, he won it. But if it's going by European performance, then you will be looking at Kylian Mbappe, because Kylian also did well for his league. He also went far, as much as the Champions League, even though he lost out in the quarterfinals. Yes, and also he went to the World Cup final and he was the top goal scorer in that tournament. So yes, he should have also had a consideration looking at that.
About Lionel Messi, he may not be playing in some of the top leagues. A lot of people believe that play in the Major League Soccer in the United States of America, people have reduced his voting, the votes he would have gotten. But again, like you mentioned, it's about FIFA Ballon d'Or, and FIFA's World Cup is the biggest tournament, and he won at the World Cup. So I think if you ask me, if I were to vote, I would vote for him for reasons of the FIFA World Cup, especially. Winning the World Cup doesn't come easy, and that was the only, let's say, trophy that was missing from his cabinet.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for him over the years. Messi has been looked at like the golden generation that will never win anything meaningful for Argentina. A lot of people had maybe looked down on him or called him down or called him out several times. Yeah, he did well this last World Cup, pushing and carrying the team all to winning this World Cup, which is a trophy that has eluded him over the years. The last time I remember when he played in the final was in 2014 when he lost to Germany. Everybody felt so sad for him there, but yes, he finally won it, and a lot of people say the good debate has ended, but well, it may not have ended, it might still be ongoing, but well, congratulations to him.
Congratulations to Lionel Messi, the 8th-time winner of FIFA Ballon d'Or. And talking about FIFA reminds me, Uche, it's now known that in 2030 they will have about 6 countries host the centenary World Cup. Principally, it will be Morocco, Spain, and Portugal. What do you think? Were multiple countries hosting one edition of the FIFA World Cup?
That's lots of logistics, the way I see it, but it's good for the game. It's a celebration of FIFA's 100 years or 100 years playing the competition of called FIFA World Cup. Yes, they're going back to how the World Cup started, and also a lot of games will be played in different countries, in different cities, just to mark that. Yes, it's a good development because an African country is involved, which I am happy about. Morocco has become the standard for African football in terms of hosting, in terms of playing, in terms of management. So yeah, it's a good one for FIFA. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to FIFA for having the World Cup in 2030 to be hosted by at least 6 countries, principally we have Morocco, Spain, and Portugal as the host of the competition. And we just have to begin to wrap up the show for this weekend. But just before we get off to our sports extraordinaire for this weekend, let me take you on this. The African Cup of Nations comes up in January, and it looks like for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, there seem to be multiple injury concerns to the first team players. Are the organizers of football in Nigeria worried about first team players of the Super Eagles having injury, the likes of the likes of Victor Osimhen, all of them on the injury list as we speak?
Well, if you say it's a worry, well, I don't see it as a worry because Nigeria has an array of talents that you cannot always push away. We have another Victor. If there's no Victor Osimhen, there's a Victor Boniface who is doing very well out there in Leverkusen. There's also a Terry Murphy. We have a lot of, there's Gift Orban. So in the striking position, I've never seen Nigeria so blessed right now the way we have an array of strikers, which we've not had in a long time. So yes, Nigeria is a team that everybody will want to avoid in this Nations Cup. But yes, if you're in our group, you're in for it.
Well, that will be it. But just before we get to our sports extra, now I'd like to thank Agu Uche for being around here. And but you represent Van Dijk, and talking about Van Dijk, we know of the founder that is a Port Harcourt boy through and through. Emeka Anyadike is a known Port Harcourt boy who has driven Van Dijk over the years, and a lot of people from Port Harcourt believe that Emeka has been more of a South African in terms of benefits and all of that. But it looks like he has answered them now by bringing back some level of visibility to Port Harcourt. And I think by time Van Dijk returns, maybe next year, it will be properly understood that yes, it was from Port Harcourt that he went to South Africa and the rest of the world.
So to debunk some things there, Mr. Emeka Anyadike is true a Port Harcourt person. Yes, I'm not debunking the fact. And yes, he has always had Port Harcourt in his heart. Whenever you hear him talk about sports development in Port Harcourt, he's always looking at ways to bring it back home. And to that effect, the Van Dijk family is looking at becoming a bigger brand. You'll be watch out for the space. You'll see things coming out from the Van Dijk family as a whole, from the sport, from football, from basketball. So watch out for that space. We're coming big, better for the city of Port Harcourt to enjoy the fruit.
Well, if you allow me, from the grapevine, I hear Van Dijk is coming up with a foundation that will be having Port Harcourt as major beneficiary in the days and maybe in the months ahead. So something to look forward to coming from Van Dijk Sport. I'd like to thank Emeka Anyadike for facilitating this one. But we have to wrap up the show now. And to wrap up the show, we'll bring you our sports extraordinaire for this weekend. It couldn't have been any other than Asisat Oshoala. Remember her, the very first Nigerian and African to score in 3 FIFA World Cup. Yes, the first African as well to score in the UEFA Champions League final. Asisat is in the news again. She's just bought a private jet worth about $50 million. What word do you have for Asisat and her new conquest?
Congratulations to her.
Very first African female footballer to buy a private jet.
It's not easy. So yeah, these are good things. These are things to be happy about. But yeah, good. She's doing well for her career. She's doing well for herself, and she's actually promoting female football, doing a lot with her foundation. I must say she's doing well. As a lady, she has brought laurels and honors to Nigeria. So congratulations to her.
Congratulations to Sister Oshola, the first African female player to buy a private jet. I would like to mention on the pitch, she is the very first African from Nigeria as well to score in 3 different World Cup and to score in the very final of the UEFA Champions League final. So she's always looking at first. Now she's acquired a private jet to the tune of $50 million. Someone asked me, what's her what? That will be for another day. Until we return next weekend for yet another edition of Sports Extraordinary. Remember, peace and unity are clearly pathways to progress. Always enjoy here on Atlantic Television Network.